Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Somaliland National Television English News Program. My name is Barkhat Sheikh Habib and I'm here to update you with the latest top stories. Coming up, the main news headlines. Somaliland is Speaker of the House of Assembly, accompanied by certain members of the cabinet, and inaugural ceremony for a new hotel in the capital. Former Somaliland Commerce Minister speaks about Somaliland's case. Violence in southern Yemen city of Aden has left at least 13 died. Somaliland is Speaker of the House of Assembly, Abdurrahman Abdullahi Irro, accompanied by certain members of the cabinet, officially attended an inaugural ceremony for a new hotel in the capital city of Somaliland, Hargeisa. This event marking an opening of a new hotel named by Kave Lalis has brought together a profile members comprises of the first Speaker of the lower house, Abdurrahman Abdullahi Irro, certain members of the cabinets, parliamentarians, SLN-TV manager, business people, and many other esteemed invited guests were among the attendees. Founder of Kave Lali Suad Armiya Yusuf, who spoke at first, has underlined that the opening of this hotel is part of her long-awaited aspirations and dreams, where she expressed how happy she is to inaugurate it with the presence of such a number of esteemed invited guests. Members of the traditional chiefs, politicians speaking on their part have equally reflected on their views regarding having implemented such hotel to cope with the needs of many Somaliland residents. Ministries of Foreign Affairs and Planning have welcomed this initiative and expressed congratulations for the founder to come up with such an instrumental step taking part in development and the beauty of the country. The Speaker of the lower house at the podium has congratulated and praised efforts of Suad for establishing such an inspirational effort, led having opened a new hotel that's to provide services highly needed in the capital. In an interview with Alex Chamwada, former Somaliland Minister of Commerce and Investment, Dr. Mohammed Abdullahi Umar argues that it is high time the international community recognize Somaliland as an independent state, as that will have far-reaching implications on the stability and economic development in the Horn of Africa. He says there are lessons to be learned from the regions on how it has achieved stability even without much international support.
The lack of recognition has a negative impact on our ability of contributing much more to the region. As you would know, Somaliland is a very stable country. It's a democratic country for a long time. We have had democratic elections, transfer of power from one government to another government very peacefully. We have a vibrant civil society. We have a positive record on the way we manage our own development. Education, we have a free primary education to our people. These are good examples for Africa, good examples for our region. And because of our lack of recognition, we're not able to share those experiences, for example, at the African Union, at IGAD, at the UN, and all those regional political and as well as economic organizations. Secondly, a lack of recognition also stops us from getting a greater international loans from the World Bank, from IMF, in order to represent our countries at those international forums. It was our choice to join Mogadishu in 1960, after having been an independent state, and when we got our independence from Britain. And it's the same people of Somaliland who have opted to go away in 1991. And since then, we have had a positive experience of our independence. Democracy, stability, peace, unlike Somalia, unfortunately, where you don't have stability and democracy and peace.
How can Kenya benefit from Somaliland, and how can Somaliland benefit from Kenya?
We have a very good links with the Kenyan Parliament, and we think based on that link, we can even improve our relationship with Kenya. And what I have seen is that Kenya is actually a manufacturing African country. Kenya is made a huge advance in terms of establishing a manufacturing industry, which means they produce a lot of stuff, dairy products. They produce a lot of consumer goods. Somaliland has at the moment a lot of trade with the United Arab Emirates and with China. Most of our goods that we use here comes from China through Dubai. Actually, we can do quite a lot of trade with Kenya, given the Kenyan manufacturing capacity. So what I've seen is Somaliland can be a market for Kenyan products, for example. Secondly, Kenya can also be a market for our products. We have a long coast, as I said. We can produce a lot of fish, and we can export fish to Kenya. Kenya is geared toward tourism. There's a lot of restaurants. There's a lot of places and customers, potential customers for fishing. And Kenya is a fish-eating country. People like fish, and we have a lot of fish in our seas. So we can also export fish to Kenya. So there is a mutual interest there, and I think we have already started discussions and talks with the Kenyan government on how we can have a trade protocol, which allows the two countries to open up their markets a little bit and make their traders, give the opportunity of our traders on both sides to have a trade. So there is a possibility of doing that.
Dr. Edna Adam, the founder of Edna Maternal Hospital in the capital city of Somaliland, who has attended a graduation ceremony of 5th, 3rd part graduates from Walden University in USA, has delivered a keynote speech to express facts touching upon Somaliland's success story. Her past accomplishments led the establishment of Edna Maternal Hospital and her efforts dedicated to the sacred independence of her country, Somaliland. Finally, she inspired graduates to continue their efforts to increase their knowledge and called them to come to Somaliland in order to see with their naked eyes development in the region.
Good morning. Thank you. And if Somaliland, a country that's not even on your map, can reduce maternal mortality to a quarter of the national average, many countries in the world could also learn from that example of Somaliland. And my hope and my dream is that one day we will have 1,000 midwives for Somaliland and 1 million midwives for my continent, Africa. Make it happen, because we need it. 13 years, the hospital has become a teaching hospital, because teaching is really the gift that I wish to leave behind for my people. We train nurses, we train midwives, we train pharmacists, we train lab technicians, we train public health officers, we train dental technicians, and we also have started to train anesthesia, nurse anesthetists on that site that was once a killing ground where I live. And only last week we had 19 women who were flown in from neighboring Somalia, from Mogadishu, who were suffering from obstetrical fistula, who we repaired surgically, and who we sent home, and who we treated free of charge. What an honor. Since we opened the hospital, we've delivered over 16,000 babies. We've lost 53 women. Many of them we could have saved. Many of those 53 women we could have saved had they been brought to us in good time. But it's still a quarter of the national average. The maternal mortality is a quarter of the national average. But we still try to save as many women as we can, because no woman should die while giving life, giving birth to a child. Today you have satisfied your teachers. Today you have graduated from your respective courses. You have made your parents, your partners, your children, your grandchildren, and of course Walden University proud. But your graduation is just the beginning, because in you I see more than a graduation. I see ambition, I see determination, I see hope, I see success, I see the future. So find your dream, set yourself goals, and ladies and gentlemen, go for it. Congratulations. Thank you. Thank you.
Sarar Regional Governor Ali Mohammed Farah, flanked by other officials, have on Friday extended a work visit to some of the districts in Sarar region which are implemented developmental projects by CARE International Organization. The visit of the regional governor was accompanied by his deputy, regional police commander, and certain officials representing CARE International. They visited 12 districts which are part of Sarar region. Members of the residents in the districts warmly received the delegation presided over by Sarar regional governor, where they also expressed thanks to CARE International and the government for undertaking instrumental projects directed to uplift the living conditions of these districts. Mr. Ali Mohammed Farah, Sarar Regional Governor, listened about the grievances and needs of the people living in those districts. You're still watching English news program on Somaliland National Television, the first Somali-speaking channel with an English news program. And now for the main international news in detail. Violence in the southern Yemeni city of Aden has left at least 13 died. Militias loyal to the country's former president Ali Abdullah Saleh have been locked in a gun battle with government forces after storming the international airport. At least 2 shells hit the ground and more than 1,000 passengers had to be rushed off a plane bound for Cairo amid the fighting. It's the latest assault against the international packet president Abid Rapo Mansour Hadi, who fled from Sana'a to Aden last month. An unidentified warplane also attacked the presidential palace in the city. Hadi described the Thursday's violence as an attempted coup. It comes Yemen faces deepening power struggle between the president and the Shia Houthi group, which controls the capital city, is allied with Salah. That wraps us to the end of our English news program on Somaliland National Television. From me and the rest of the team, I'm leaving you until we meet for the next time. Goodbye.